Hi everyone, it's Darcy Alec again. Hope you're doing well today. I've sent you all an email that looks like this one here in front of me. This has the email copy for the first message I want you to send out to your list for the upcoming launch that we're starting here for Michael Hyatt. I did send this as an attachment last time in Word, but there were a couple of people that couldn't open it, so I thought I would just send it in the body of the email itself. Go down here to where it says open bracket first name. Highlight from there, drag down until you get to the end of the PS here. It says have more time for fun. Copy that. Don't copy this link part at the bottom. Go over to your Mad Mimi account or whichever autoresponder you're using. Go ahead and log in. Now I'm going to do a promotion here with this. Just before I start doing that, I'm going to take a quick look at the audience here. I want to show you something here. So I've got all my contacts in here. You can add lists by clicking this button and calling it whatever you want. And every time you get some new data and stuff, you should do that just so you can track it and see where it's coming from. I have this list that I set up here, this EN list. That's short form for engaged list. So if people click on a link in my email, I automatically put them into this list, and that way I know they're a little bit more involved. Come on up here to promotions. Go over and click Compose in the upper right side here. I'm going to go down to Build Your Own. Okay, so this is going to pre-populate with a few things. I don't want to have a red title here, like on a sales page, so I'm going to click that, get rid of that. I'm basically going to write an email to a friend here. Come down here, click this pencil, trash that. This part over here, when I click this, I'm going to edit. Now I'm not going to trash this, I'm just going to go ahead through. I will delete this, and I'm going to paste in the stuff that I copied. Now this part up here, I'll just explain this. In Mad Mimi anyways, if I put open bracket first name and close bracket, if I have a first name in that field in my account beside the email address, it will populate it with that. However, if I just put that and I put a comma, then it kind of leaves a space, or you just see a comma there at the beginning. It looks kind of funny. So just as a safety fallback here, if you do not have a first name, we can put something alternative in there. So if you put comma, fallback equals, this is what will come out instead. So if I don't have a first name for a particular person that's subscribed, it'll say, hey there, and then it'll start into the email. If they do have a first name, like John, it'll say John, and then it will start from there. Okay, so I've got the copy here. If you want to go through and adjust this, you're more than welcome to do that. If I go back and take a quick look at this email here, see these parts that are in bold? So getting stuff done, check it out here, and this whole PS part. That's where we're going to input this link that will take people over to a podcast. So let's highlight this part here, copy it, go back to the Mad Mimi account. So see where it says getting stuff done? That's the first part that was highlighted. You'll notice when I pasted it in here, it did not stay highlighted. That's okay. Highlight that, click this link button here, and do Control V to paste that in here. I'm going to click this button here. This is the one where I'm going to add them to the engaged list. They don't come off the other list, they just get added to this one, so I know they're a little bit more involved. Click Save. Come back over here. The next place that was highlighted, if you go back over here, you'll see was check it out here. So I'm going to come and highlight that. Click the link button. Control V to paste that in here. Click this. I'm going to add them to my engaged list if they do click that link as well. And the last place we want to add the link is in this entire PS right here. So click that, scroll up, leave that highlighted, click the link button, Control V, click this, add them to the engaged list, click Save. When I click over here on the blue in Mad Mimi, you can see what the email is going to look like. This should populate it with their first name if you have one. You can see how the paragraphs are broken up. If I wanted to bold something, I could. I'm not going to do that here, but I could do that. And now I'm going to go down to the bottom, and I'm going to click Continue. So I'm done steps 1 of 3. The next thing I recommend you do is send yourself a quick test email. So I have a few test email addresses in here. This is me. This is the first name here, DTop7. A little odd, but why not? Click that. I'm only going to send it to myself first, and I'll see what it looks like, make sure the links work before I send it out to my list. Click continue. We do have to input a subject line here. So I'm just going to do first name here to get their attention. And how about, do you need more time? Now, I can click the second send and go ahead and send that out to my people that didn't open on my list, but that's not going to come out for 72 hours. By that point, we're going to be getting into the actual launch emails for Michael Hyatt's launch, so I don't really want to have that going out here, having a couple messages come in and getting people confused, okay? So I'm not going to click this here. I'm going to leave enable link tracking checked off, because that's going to help me with those links like I showed you there with adding them to that other list. This stuff here. And I'm going to click send. Now it doesn't send right away there. It gives me a chance to confirm it, so I can see the subject, I can see the name here. This is the email address that I used when I set up my Mad Mimi account. This is the from name. This is what's going to show up as who it's coming from. I want them to see it's coming from me because I'm trying to brand myself. One audience member, so I know it's just coming to me. Looks good. Click send it. And if you realize you made a mistake, you can actually click right here when this is going on quickly, and it should stop it. Since it's just going to one email address, it should go through fairly quickly. I'll get a confirmation here from Mad Mimi momentarily. If I'm sending it to a large group like my entire list, it might take a couple minutes. That's fine. Just sit tight, let that happen. Okay, so you can see it was sent here and everything. Okay, I had to pause the video for a couple of minutes because I was waiting for the email here to come through. Remember, I said this is the first name, so if my name was John, I'd say, John, do you need more time? And you can see here's the message here. There's the first name. That's the beginning of the email. Just a quick note. Sometimes I've noticed with Mad Mimi, when I send a test message like that to myself, sometimes it comes through almost instantaneously. Other times it takes, up to 10 minutes or so for it to come through. Not quite sure why, but that's how it is. So here's how the email looks. Make sure you take a quick read through it. And what we want to do here also, make sure we like the way it looks and test the links. So I'm going to click this link here. When I do that, it should take me to the page with the podcast interview that I mentioned. All right, so this is Michael Hyatt here. You can see this is about him, my top 10 productivity hacks podcast. You can see it's a little bit old. That doesn't matter. This stuff is definitely timeless. And people can come down here, they can download this, listen to the audio here, or they can watch the video at the same time here. Ideally, the way we would do this is this would be our own website with one of us interviewing Michael and posting that. But that just isn't a possibility here. Michael is a very busy guy. So let's go back. I'm going to close this here. Come back to the email. I'm going to test the other two links. Okay, that one works, so I'll close that, and then we'll check this one down here at the bottom. Okay, all three links look good. Message looks pretty good. The only thing I don't really like is this first name, do you need more time? I might switch that up a little bit here. So let's go back to our Mad Mimi account. Now, here's the message we just sent. I can click on this pencil to edit this promotion. Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow here. Okay, so this brings me back to the first step. So I've got my name, I've got my links and everything in here. I'm not going to change anything with the body itself. If I wanted to change it, I would change it now. So that's step 1 of 3. Onto the second page. Now, here's where we input the email address. Even if you don't have your name on your list, you can just type in an email address. It'll send it here, but you won't have a first name in that field unless you do add it in as well. So I can decide to segregate my list. Sometimes it's a good idea to send one message to half your list with a certain subject and then change the subject line and send the rest to the other half. For now, just to keep it simple, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to include everybody in my list. I'll come over here and click continue. Once again, I'm not going to do the second send. I do want to keep that first name, but I'm just going to modify this question here a little bit. a little bit more interesting. And I'm going to write, want to get more done in less time. That's kind of a universal statement that would apply to most people. I'm going to click send, and it will give me the opportunity to check this, going to my entire audience, coming from me. There's the new title, want to get more done in less time. Make sure you don't have any spelling errors. Looks good, send it, and then we'll step back and wait. And that message will go out right away. We can schedule these to go out at a later time, but I'll talk about that in the next message. And for now, we'll just go ahead, get this out to your list. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me, either PM me on Facebook or shoot me over an email, and I will see what I can do to help you out. Thanks, talk to you soon.